Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakradash. Hey, this is your brother Eldai Ayathun. I'm back at you with another video. I want to say double honors to the apostles here at Great Millstone GMS. Shalom to you brothers and your sisters out there, and blessings, Barakium, to you members of the elect. In this video, I just want to cover this quick topic regarding what's happening currently with John Kerry. As you see the headline article here, John Kerry targets agriculture as part of climate crusade. Now, for us here in the know, we know that what this is about. This is about controlling the food and the water supply. And during the C-19 crisis, Bill Gates went out there and bought up all the farms. The majority of the farms, all the major farms, are now under government control. Bill Gates went out there and bought up all the farms. Now you still have small indie farms or small farms where people with some money, they have their own farms so that they can sustain themselves and sustain their family. But what this devil wants is they want you, the American population, to rely on them totally, 100% for food and water. Let's go into the curses right quick. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." Excuse me. So this is a curse that the Most High put upon Israel. And we suffered this curse in slavery up until this day, but really through all our captivities, we have suffered this curse here, to where ultimately we ended up here in America, in the Western Hemisphere here in America, to where we are totally reliant upon the enemy, Esau, the powers that be, for the want of all things, whether it's a piece of land, whether it's a job, whether it's food, whether it's water, whether it's medicine to stay healthy, whatever it is, you got to go to the enemy. Now we know that the Most High is flipping the curses. The Most High is subjecting everybody under these curses. So this curse here, that we're going to the enemy for the want of all things, and a yoke of iron should be upon thy neck, well, the Lord is bringing this upon all the inhabitants of Egypt, which is aka modern day America. And that yoke of iron now is going to be a digital yoke of iron, which is going to be that what we call the Motb, known in the scriptures, Revelation 16. Okay, the Motb is going to be the digital yoke of iron. So that's what this is all about. This is all about, oh, let me go further. Well, this movement here is all about bringing all food and water supply under the control of the government, because the American citizens are enemy combatants. They are considered as enemy combatants. This is why when you walk into a courtroom, you see this type of flag right here. Matter of fact, let me see if I get a better photo. Well, this is the best one here. You get a flag like this, which is a flag with the fringes around it. The reason why you get a flag with fringes around it when you go into a courtroom and they read your name, which is in all caps on the government documents, is because you are a enemy combatant of the states. You are under maritime laws, which makes you, these are the laws of the high seas, which makes you an enemy combatant. This is synonymous to a pirate jumping off his ship and jumping onto your ship and taking whatever he wants, including you and your family, as hostage. This is how they look at you. This is why the elites regard the American people as goyim or sheeple. So now they are embarking through the name of climate control, or saving the environment. That is the Trojan horse they are riding in on for this. Along with Bill Gates, whom, by the way, bought up all of the major farmland, bought it up during the C-19 crisis, where they, under the guise of saving the planet from the C-19, they required all the large farmers to slaughter and get rid of all their flocks. And I believe they gave them a incentive, which was some money, in order to do so. But again, they're moving quickly, like the scriptures say. They are moving very quickly. The devil shall come upon you having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short upon a time. And you're looking at two devils right here on the screen. I've got a photo somewhere. Matter of fact, let me blow this up. Right, so you're looking at two devils right here on the screen. And this is the World Economic Forum. And if you notice here, there's the three O's, and then there's a curve going through it, which represents 666. Okay, so they're doing all this, of course, under the power and authority of the Most High, but in the name of Satan. This is where they draw their power from, and this is why all their symbolisms are satanic symbolisms, are satanic logos that carry satanic vibrations. This is a 666. And this is exactly what's inside the Motb as well. 666 is embedded inside the Motb. But as you can see here, it says John Kerry declares war on U.S. farmers. Government farm confiscation not off the table. So they're targeting mom and pop farms. Anybody that's got a small farm that they've got to sustain their family, or even these small butcher shops. A lot of Edomites with money, and Jakes too, that are in the know, they'll go to the butcher shop instead of the supermarket, and they'll get their meats there and their groceries. Sometimes you have the farmers markets. So they just want to put their grips on everything. As you can see, small farms are significant emitters of nitrogen. So again, this is the Trojan horse they're using. Small farms are significant emitters of nitrogen, according to Biden's climate czar, John Kerry, who is pushing for the U.S. federal government to crack down on farming in America to combat global warming, which global warming is a lie. A food crisis, there's no such thing as a food crisis. That's a lie, that the world is running out of food. This is all to push their Motb and their NWO. And I want to read a scripture here that says this, and in Lamentations 4, and I'm going to go straight to the point. 4:9 says this: they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. So them that are slain with the sword are better than them that are slain with hunger. Because to die of hunger is a terrible thing. Your body starts, the quickest way to lose weight is what? There's a simple formula. You burn more calories than you eat. It's called being in a calorie deficit. And what your body starts doing is your body starts eating away at your food reserves, which is usually fat. The first food reserves are fat, and then it'll move to visceral fat, and then once it runs out of that and you're not putting any food in your system, then your body starts eating away at muscle. This is called catabolism. And then your body starts eating away at itself. It's called self-preservation. It's your body's way of surviving. But this is a terrible, terrible way to go. And Esau knows this. So Esau is going to use this right here, this as an excuse, right? Global warming as an excuse to lock down on these smaller farms, basically to cut off all the food and water supply. Again, is a military tactic, right? Right here in the London Review of Books. The Nazis used it. We use it. Alex de Waal on the return of famine as a weapon of war. So famine is a way to weaken your enemy and to get them to surrender, because they're going to use extreme tactics to get people, the hardest resistors, to submit and to succumb to the Motb. And what's the Motb is this? I'm gonna say because the algorithm will strike the video down right here. This is the Motb. Okay, they want everybody to bow down to take this. And famine in itself, hunger, is a hell of a motivator, or tool of persuasion. But then add your wife and your children, your little ones, your dog, your pets, everybody ribs it's touching and they're starving for hunger. People will do whatever you ask them to do. Especially Jake. Their favorite things is food. And food is called comfort. You know, here in America, you've got a lot of comfort food, which just puts you deeper and deeper in a slump, makes you more of a couch potato, makes you more of a sloth, and what it does, it rushes your brain with serotonin and dopamine. You know, so Jake is just used to being drugged up with the foods. So once you remove the food, it makes it even worse. So on top of the hunger, then you have psychological effects that happen to our people. So I'm gonna read this one last scripture. Then I'm gonna shut it on this because I believe the point has been made. Now this is during the time of Egypt, when the Lord had delivered the nation of Israel. Shortly after that the Lord delivered us, as Israel was going through the wilderness, they started complaining of the food, and they started murmuring among themselves that we should have stayed in Egypt. We should have went back to Egypt. So let's read about that. This is this is Exodus 16:1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. So this was 2 months after the Exodus. Verse 2, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. Verse 3, and the children of Israel said unto them, would the Most High we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full, for ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So then Moses, succumbed to them and started pleading and went to the Most High. But the whole point is that when they institute this, when they cut off the food and the water supply, right? When they squeeze this weapon right here, when they pull the trigger on this weapon, the famine, Jake is going to jump right to it. And it's not going to take much time at all. I mean, just look at what happened with the C-19 when they gave out the dart. They enticed Jake with, McDonald's or Popeye's chicken, and I was like, man, nah, Jake, they're gonna have to come harder than that. They're gonna have to come harder than that. They're gonna get Jake to inject the unknown for a free McDonald's apple pie. I said, nah, man. But lo and behold, Jake, they took that. They took it. So it's gonna be nothing for Jake to take that Motb, especially when they're hungering after a couple weeks, whatever, in Israel, during the time of the Exodus, we just read after 2 months, they were ready to go back, But us here, the elect, we don't have to worry about that pursuant to Luke, the 6th chapter. All right. It says, woe to ye that laugh now, for ye shall hunger. Right. And the scriptures say, but my servants shall eat. And look at right here on the screen. It says 444. So the Lord is going to have mercy upon his elect. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakadash. I hope you brothers and sisters out there were edified. Until the next time, Shalom.